Lauren, we have some
Okay.
exciting news. Finally, after many fits and starts, ups and downs, cutbacks, sidetracks,
Lime brain.
switchbacks, Lyme brain. I had a patient on the table the other day was just blaming it on mom brain. She doesn't have Lyme disease at all. She just had an injury, a work injury, but she was saying mom brain. I just get mom brain from time to time. So
I think it's everything. I think it's chaos of life brain. We'll just put it in a giant umbrella.
brain, overwhelmed brain, inflammation brain. And what I'm excited to talk about here is we've been working behind the scenes, for 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months now on reconstituting Lyme Ninja Radio. And I think we just hammered out a great show that people are going to love. The old saying goes that success is 10% inspiration and 90% work. There's another word, but we don't want to talk about the other word apparently, because it's kind of like Lyme brain. But this show is going to be 90% inspiration and only 10% work. But we're going to do the work for you, so you can just sit back and relax. It's not going to be in-depth interviews where we slog through the pain and misery of Lyme disease, because I think we've all been through our own version of it. I had my 3 months of hell. And Lauren, I know you've had on and off.
I've had my years. I've had enough. Moving on from that nonsense.
Right. So we can use a shortcut. We can use the headline as in, I was so tired, I just couldn't get out of bed. And we all know what they're talking about. Or I was in so much pain, I was in tears. We exactly know what you're talking about. So we don't need to slog through and relive all the trauma, because we have our own version of it. So we're
Aren't we
not going
lucky?
to, aren't we lucky? The lucky part, though, is the transition and the hope and the inspiration, because there's so many people out there who have gotten better, and their stories just evaporate into thin air, because once you're feeling better, you go back to normal-ish life and you leave the Lyme world behind, which is what you should be doing. So what we're doing is kind of like putting stickers on the wall and saying, we remember Bobby Sue or Jimmy Joe or whatever Southern name I'm going to make up next, because they left us, but they didn't leave us for heaven
They didn't
or
die.
another
Hold
place.
on.
They didn't die. Right. They have succeeded. They've moved on. It's like they've graduated and are alum now. And just like alum at a college, they may come back and visit every few years, but they're not there every day anymore. But they've successfully completed it. And that's what our goal is here, really, to share those stories for people who are just getting started and feeling like, man, am I ever going to get out of here? And the answer is yes, you can. And those people who are going through the actual ups and downs of starting to see some success, but having setbacks. Lauren, you know about setbacks. Have you
Oh
had
yeah.
ever one?
It's a roller coaster every day, but always slightly upward trajectory, right?
Exactly. Recovery from Lyme is not a straight road. And that's one of the things that happens with success as well. In addition to this 90% inspiration, 10% work kind of thing, is when somebody gets to the end of the path and they're reminiscing and they look back, they forget all the mistakes, all the potholes, all the broken wheels, the popped tires, the falling in the ditch, and they just remember all the great stuff that they did. Yeah, I was feeling terrible. And then eventually I made it to Dr. A or to this clinic or tried this herb or did the Rife at this frequency or whatever it was. And it was like a miracle. And I started feeling better. And they forget that they tried 200,000 things in between point A and point B. And we just continue to forget that. And with good reason, if we dwelt on all the pain and suffering all the time, we'd be basket cases.
And if you
Do
are
you
in that
agree?
basket case scenario right now, it's okay. We get it. You are allowed to be there. That is justifiable.
Yes, thank you, thank you. And that's really Lauren's role in this podcast, is to keep me on the straight and narrow and on the honest path, and not to let me get away with too much hyperbole. But we just wanted to jump in here real quickly with you on this Independence Day, and get this ball rolling. If you want to share your success story, please reach out to info@lymeninjaradio.com and send me an email and let me know. And we'd love to interview you. Now, these are going to be different kind of interviews. These are going to be short interviews, not bearing the soul 60-minute interviews. And I will help you drill down your story to 5 to 7 minutes. I promise it can be done. If somebody can write a really funny cartoon in 3 or 4 frames and get a punchline across in about 17 words, I think we can get a Lyme story done in about 500 to 750 words in 5 to
I'll
7
make
minutes.
it digestible to Lyme patients. It's got to be short, it's got to be sweet, and it's got to be direct.
That's right. And 90% inspiration, 10% work. And that's what we're doing over at Lyme Warrior. And we've got Primal Trust, which is a program. And Lauren, you're getting ready to start this next week. So why don't you just tell us about the program?
Yeah, so a lot of people do a lot of physical healing. They remove the infection, but they have those autonomic issues, that fight or flight response, that inflammation that doesn't really allow you to come back to where you want to be. So there's DNRS, Gupta, Primal Trust. These are great lymphatic brain retraining systems that help you bring your body back into homeostasis. So the program that we have just gotten recommendation after recommendation for is Primal Trust. They have been so amazing. She had Lyme symptoms that she helped through somatic therapies and similar things, and she created her own program. So I will be starting that next week because I got to give it my first hand, make sure that all these people aren't crazy, of course. But we have that awesome program. She has a really great webinar and ebook, so you can kind of test it before you get started. But we're all starting that soon, and we're pretty excited to say, yeah, there's a lot of antibiotics, there's a lot of herbals, but also that beautiful brain connection cannot be overlooked.
Absolutely. And for many people, it's the key piece to move things along, and you can kill all you want. You can detox all you want. But if you're stuck in cell danger response or fight or flight, however you want to look at it, past baggage, there are lots of ways of describing this situation we find ourselves in, this neuroinflammation, neuroexcitement pattern, that once you can break that, it's like the clouds break, the sun comes out.
The body can't heal in fight or flight. The mitochondria have been proven to not repair in that state. So how are we going to get better if the cells can't fix themselves?
Yeah, I was going for all this huggy, feely, feel good stuff, and you go right down to mitochondria and bioscience.
Mitochondria, they don't repair if we are constantly in this state. And you might be sitting in front of your TV, you're like, I'm relaxed. I'm also gritting my teeth and thinking about how mad I am as an idiot doctor from 5 years ago who misdiagnosed me. Are you really actually out of that fight or flight? So I think it's stuff like that we just sometimes don't even realize the burdens that we carry with ourselves. So I'll go back to touchy-feely. We're so ready to fight and defend ourselves that we just don't even get that time down.
There was a period in college where I was depressed about 9 months, and not stuck in bed depressed, but depressed. And I didn't realize I was depressed until one day the depression lifted. Don't ask me how I got into it. Don't ask me how I got out of it. But it was very clear. I remember walking across to my class and thinking, holy Moses, I've not been in great shape these past months. And just seeing that. So, and if you had asked me a week before, 24 hours before, how you doing? I was like, I'm okay. Life's okay. Am I woo, life's great? But it's are you depressed? No way. Not at all. You need to talk about it? No, I have nothing to talk about. And I didn't. That was there was just some functioning where it was lower than optimal. So that was one of those stress stuck ruts that I was in, that I didn't realize I'd gotten out of the rut till it was you climb out. It's oh my goodness, there's a horizon.
I can smell the flowers again,
rainbows,
and the sun is shining.
It's crazy. All of a sudden the glass is half full and not half empty. And it is all based on our mitochondria, neuroinflammation, all that good stuff. So, Lauren, how do people go and sign up for this, or just have a look? Just have a look. Don't sign up for anything yet. Just have a look.
Yeah, I was about to say free resources. We'll drop links and everything. And I was about to say tons of free stuff before you make the big jump.
So how do they get it?
Visit the website. I'll drop links in the bio, and then we can
Okay.
swim together.
We don't have the website yet. Is that what you're telling me?
No, it'll get there.
It'll get there. So stay tuned for the actual website, but we'll get links to it in the show notes here, and we'll be sure to keep promoting that as time goes on. So thanks for sticking with us. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. What else do people do? Post.
Follow.
Yep. And we're going to be putting this on probably some alternative streaming sites out there that are a little more free speech oriented these days. And that kind of showed up with COVID, but I recently had Facebook just like drop a giant turd on my head in my account and couldn't get in for a while. So I don't know what I said, but maybe it was about a certain medical organization that is really bad for people with Lyme disease. I don't know what it was. Disinformation. They said you're promoting hate speech. It's like, I am, but
well, we kind of do hate that organization with 3 letters.
Well, okay, so maybe they are right. Well, there's the 3-letter one, and then there's the 4-letter one. The one that begins with the letter F, and the one that begins with
I feel like we should really clarify what our 3-letter words are. But yeah, those organizations that need updating and need to have a different vision of what they are, and hopefully with all the wonderful research coming out, that maybe you won't be arrested for hate crimes against these organizations anytime
Let's
soon.
hope. All right. So like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and we'll let you know when we're gonna, I don't think we're gonna go live. I think we're gonna do these recorded. We might go live, but we'll see. Depends on our schedules
Stay
here.
tuned
So
to see how energetic we
stay
are.
tuned. We're gonna figure, we'll figure that part out, but we will be here weekly now. Starting, there will be something coming out once a week. I promise. No more excuses. No more dilly-dallying. No more. Got another word there?
I think those are the ones.
Half-baked, half-cocked.
There's another one I want to say, but you can't say that. So
This is a PG show. Yeah, we're going to keep this PG. All right. Lauren, thanks so much. Thanks, everybody. We will be with you soon.
see you next week.
Lyme Ninja Radio is a purely public broadcast and is not intended to be personalized medical advice for any individual's specific situation. Each individual's medical situation is unique, and Lyme Ninja Radio should not be relied upon and or considered as personalized medical advice. Lyme Ninja Radio is not licensed to render medical advice and should be considered simply the public opinion of Lyme Ninja Radio and its guests. Recommendations on specific treatment options are not intended to address any listener's particular medical situation. As always, contact your physician before considering any new treatment.